Hi, my name's Dick, John Dick, here again to fill your ear hole with my scummy goodness. In this video development blog, we'll talk about climbing and vaulting. For those of you who still don't know, Scum is an open-world survival game set in the near future with a realistic approach to gameplay. To be honest with you, we never considered mentioning vaulting and climbing as features, but since some other games advertise them as their main feature, we decided to at least explain how they'll work in Scum. Picture yourself as this well-built guy enjoying his run when suddenly you get surrounded by a group of drunks leaving the club early in the morning. Luckily for you, Scum allows you to keep your momentum and move fluidly through the level to avoid accidental pukes. But before we get into the details, we have to go back in time to explain how everything started. God, I love this part. Before we even started working on Scum, we tried many different survival games to experience the best and the worst that they can offer to players. One of them had this particular problem with basic things like doors. In this section, we've recreated a scenario that happened to us in that particular game on more than one occasion. Also, things could get a lot worse if someone was chasing you because these damn doors would stop you or push you aside most of the time, resulting in frustration and sometimes even death. So we decided the doors will have to open in a way to allow player movement to be fluid. This might be a small thing, but in combination with vaulting and climbing, it turned out to be a great feature. In some occasions, the best features in games are those that you don't notice when they happen. The idea is to keep the player concentrating on important stuff and to reduce the amount of frustration when performing repetitive, simple tasks. Now let's talk about vaulting and climbing. Here you have two very old pals, Stan on the left and Oliver on the right. They have different body attributes and different skills because, after all, they're different and unique people. In Scum, all characters are unique and all their attributes and knowledge can be changed in the game, as they are subject to change in real life. Notice that not only they are moving at different paces, their vaulting and climbing speeds are also different. Stan has much better constitution, and his high dexterity makes him much faster than Oliver. He also has a lot more stamina and can run for a longer time. On the other hand, Oliver is a very smart guy and he has a big juicy brain. Having a friend in need is great, but having a slower buddy when zombies are chasing you, that's a lifesaver. In this part, you can see two guys that are physically identical, but they're packed with a different amount of gear. The guy on the left has around 13 kilos of gear distributed over his body, while the guy on the right has been collecting some precious items and has more than 60 kilograms in his inventory. The sheer amount of gear has stopped him from running. He's forced to jog all the time. In life-threatening situations, speed can be essential for survival. It's advisable that you drop all excessive gear if you need to escape quickly. Things that you leave behind might be enough to attract pursuers and stop them from chasing you further. Also, keep in mind that climbing and vaulting with that amount of weight will drain your stamina faster, making you weaker and slower with each step. From all you've seen so far, it's clear that you don't have to go around obstacles like in some survival games, searching for broken fences or doors to go through. We made vaulting and climbing in order to allow players to move continuously through the level, but we also made them in a way that your character's abilities and gear will influence them all the time. It's easy to see that some animations are not perfect, some of them even look funny, but hell, if you want to see more funny stuff, you should see our budget too. However, climbing and vaulting mechanics work really well, and visuals can be easily polished during early access. Just imagine what else can be done if you show us some love. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll have free climbing and parkour in the game also. More or less, that was everything we wanted to show you about vaulting and climbing. As we've said before, it's nothing special. It's just a feature that'll keep you focused on the gameplay instead of going crazy trying to get through a door. Furthermore, there are a lot of questions about the release date and if there will be a testing phase or not. The game has entered the first closed pre-alpha testing phase. We have a squad of badass U.S. Marines testing the game as we speak. Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and our development blog at www.scumgame.com to find out more about things that will follow the first testing phase. Hoo-ah! By the way, did you notice this little cool thing that we did in the background? Watch closer. When the player is in third-person perspective and is standing behind an obstacle that obstructs his character's vision, all the things in the background are blurred out. We use depth of field to reduce the advantage of third-person perspective over first-person perspective. The best thing is that it wasn't entirely our idea. It actually came from the Steam community pages, and we thought it would be great to have it in the game. It still has to be tested though, but how cool is that? The game hasn't even been released yet, and we've already implemented some features requested by our community. That's you. Love you guys. You're great. Until next time, dick out for Scum.